Hi, friends. Day 40 of The Path of Purpose. And tonight, let's talk about advocacy. So, advocacy comes in many, many different forms and purposes. But my advocacy as a DD nurse obviously comes in the form of medical services. And so when I first became a DD nurse, I would walk into a group home and there would be a client that I was supposed to be doing an assessment on and looking at a nurse patient relationship, right, to support their needs and make plans of care. Well, oftentimes I would make observations and I would say something about what I'm seeing and what my concerns were, and oftentimes the staff would say to me, "Oh, that's normal. Oh, it's always been that way." And it was really difficult for me at first because it's like, wow, well, just because it's normal or it's always been that way doesn't make it okay, right? So, because of that, I had to learn to start asking good questions um, and begin to problem solve with the staff who had been a caregiver for many, many years to explain to me, why was this normal for this individual or why had it always been this way? And so it was a huge learning curve for me. Well, here's an example. Several years ago, I walked into a group home and I was going to support this gal. And she's very active. She loved walking every day. She loved riding her bike. And yet she had a feeding tube. And this feeding tube was exceptionally long. And so it was just attached to her body, and she would just have to tuck it into her clothes to go out and go ride her bike or go on a walk. And I just started asking her questions, and I said, well, why are you using this feeding tube system when you're so active and there's so many other things? Well, there's other things that you could use that would free you up to enjoy the activities that you enjoy. And she kind of looked at me like she had no clue what I was talking about, right? So I asked her and told her about the option of having a Mickey, a little button that is that is utilized as a port into your stomach for nutrients, medications, fluids, but you don't keep the feeding tube itself attached. It detaches, and you only put it on when you need to give yourself the medication, the nutrition, or the fluids. So once I explained it to her, she was a little shocked because she said, Char, I've had this for 25 years. Why haven't I known any other options? And I would like to check it out. So I helped advocate for her with her gastroenterologist. And it took some time to convince the gastroenterologist that the client really did want to try this and really did want to be considered for the low profile Mickey keys. So Mickey is what it is. I always say Mickey key, but it's just Mickey. So eventually she was able to go in and have the feeding tube swapped out for the Mickey. And she had always administered her own food and fluid and, nutrition, meds, fluids. So she was more than excited to learn this new process. And she did very quickly. And she felt amazing after she didn't have to have this huge long tube attached to her all the time. And it was really a successful change for her. Gave her some freedom that she didn't know was an option. So, think about it. Are you an advocate for others? Are you challenging someone to make a choice that might give them some freedom. You know, obviously, as a nurse, my observations are always typically more medical, right? But there's a lot of other areas in our lives where it's just simple observations that can make a difference for us and make a difference for other people. So if someone speaks up and asks you a question about something particular, like I did with this gal in the feeding tube, you know, are you saying, well, that's normal, or it's always been that way? And if you're saying those things, maybe you need to reconsider and think about what they're recommending, what they're, you know, how are they trying to be an advocate for you? So, you know, I know the Lord always wants us to experience freedom, and even if it's as simple as a Mickey and changing your feeding tube, and it gives more freedom, there's other things that can give you freedom too. So, thanks for joining me. It's been a Mickey day. Just busy with advocating. So, you guys have a great rest of the night. I can't believe it. It's day 40 already. It's amazing. Day 40. Okay, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great night's sleep. Bye.